Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Inside the Booth. I am Dan Arena, and our special guest today is Christopher Hopper.
Hey, good to be here. I got my trusty muzzle loader pistol.
I love it. I love it.
And my survival helmet. So.
All right. Let's take this stuff off here.
Well, you inspired me to be creative there in the final moments. So.
All right. Thanks for coming. Oh, you got a Ruins hat.
Great.
I don't.
It's great to be here. Oh, but you have a what? A Dunder Mifflin hat?
That's right.
Oh,
I was just about to put it on.
yours is cooler than mine. Definitely cooler than mine.
I don't know. I don't think so.
I'll have to get you a Ruins hat for next time.
I'll just put it on backwards. I'd rather promote
no.
your hat, you know.
Anything office related is near and dear. So
that's awesome. So we have a bunch of people on. Even before we started, thank you everybody for coming on and saying hello. Gary, I have no idea.
Oh, GilkMan. Oh, these are some of my people. Mauricio.
Oh, these are
Gary, Nathan. Yeah, you guys are awesome.
So yes, hello everybody.
Yeah, Nathan says that's why you were late making that hat. That's correct. Yes.
That's right.
But listen, Nathan, mine was so special it had to be made spontaneously. But Dan's hat was like, man, I feel like that took months to make. So
oh yeah, you know.
Yeah. Hey Kevin, how's it going? Good to see you. Greetings from the Ruins, and also greetings from Brazil. Mauricio is from Brazil, where it's very beautiful right now.
Hey, well, welcome everybody. Thank you everybody for coming to say hello. All right,
this is great. Getting it.
All right.
So, okay, there's some good comments coming in.
So yeah, they are.
God Cake is a reference to the new book. Yeah, this is good stuff.
Okay.
This is good stuff.
Oh, very nice, very nice. We got Nathan from New York. Hey, Nathan, I'm in your country too. So is Chris. New York.
That's right.
Sweet. So that's awesome. So I guess before we get started, let me just say a few things. The thing I was wearing just a few seconds ago is on our merch store. I don't know if you can see it well. It's a neck gaiter, but you can do whatever you want with it. If you guys,
that's sweet.
Yeah. So we have a merch store now. You know, go to www.insidetheboothreviews.com/shop and you can pick yourself up a mug. Also,
look at that.
Yeah. We're trying to, get there.
I love it, man. This is great. Entrepreneurialism for the win.
That's right. Woo! That's right. We got to start somewhere.
That's good. I love it.
Yeah, and obviously check out Christopher Hopper's shop over there, the Ruins. I like your merch and everything else. I think I saw a Christopher Hopper World logo thing too. That was pretty cool. Thanks, and then you want to promote your VIP, right? Why don't you discuss a little bit about that?
Sure. And by the way, I see Gary says that Yarig does not approve of the gun. I don't know, Gary. I feel like this looks like a trusty weapon if I ever saw one here. I think it's been through a couple battles though.
That's right.
And greetings from Oregon. Nice. I wonder what part of Oregon. Nice. Bear, let us know what part of Oregon. Is it Bend? Portland? Canby? Where are you at? ChristopherHopper.com. We're doing this big promotion right now to invite people. It's the first time we've opened this up publicly to become a VIP for free. And that gives them insider access to new and upcoming content, as well as they get a free collector's poker chip for exclusive only for members. It's the only way you can get it. They get 10% off the store. They get a free short story. So I think it's cool. We're having a good time with it. And we've had some great audience response so far. So
awesome.
Thanks for letting me plug it.
Yeah, no problem, man. For you, anything, brother.
Thanks, Dan. Thank you.
Hey, you're welcome. So yeah, I mean, so we're here to chit chat, talk a little bit about your upcoming book, and just to hang out, I guess, for a little bit and talk about
Awesome.
whatever's, if that's all right.
Yeah, no,
we'll,
that'd be great.
we'll try not to hold you too long.
No, it's good. I see some comments coming in from people too that they're in, and yes, all the cool kids are VIPs.
All right.
So if they want to be cool, they gotta be in. So look
I
at
guess
that.
I'm gonna have to be a cool kid.
Definitely, we'll get you in, Dan.
Sounds good.
But yeah, I mean, if anybody has questions too, all those who are watching tonight, if you want questions about the Ruins of the Earth series by myself and Jeff Cheney, we'd love to field those questions throughout the night. And I don't know what you have planned, Dan. So
Hey, it's gonna be, I guess, spontaneous too. Whatever.
Okay.
Whatever works. Here, let me share my screen real quick, because I know you saw it already. I posted it a couple days ago, but I made this photo out of Photoshop. If this works, there we go. And now, Chris, you are in the Ruins
I'm
of the
in.
Earth.
There it is. I got some swag too. It looks like I got a strut going on.
That's right. That's right. You wouldn't believe it. I took 3 pictures of you to make that one photo.
and I clearly look better in this photo than I do in real life. So thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome.
What am I carrying in my left hand there? What is that?
It's a mask. I found a mask.
Oh.
Yep, I found a mask on Google, and I said,
good deal.
Well, you got to have a mask on. I was gonna give you a backpack and like some tubes and stuff.
Yep.
From the mask. It was gonna be cool. I didn't have much more time.
So I'm only mildly
this already
cool.
took me about 4 hours.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, you're
cool, man. Well, I like that.
Yeah.
It has I love the ruins landscape, and obviously you have the origin ring in the background. That's been a lot of fun. That the book, by the way, has been doing really well, and
good.
I can't everybody who's watching tonight and the fans of the series, you guys are just the best. We would not be doing this without you, because who wants to write a book for nobody unless you just really love self-torture.
That's right.
But the series, I think the last time we talked, Dan, you had said that the second book had just released. Yes. If I'm not mistaken.
Yep, the second book just released. It was 5 months ago that we talked last here on Inside the Booth. So
okay,
that was cool.
5 months, cool. Yeah, and so now we have book 4 that drops this Sunday. A week from tonight, it'll be out, which I'm really excited for.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Me too. I mean, I'm not much of a reader, but I'll definitely promote it. That's for sure.
Okay. Thanks, man.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And I like listening to the audio stuff, even those trailers and stuff, your guy who does the voiceover, he's got a good voice, man.
RC Bray. He's phenomenal. He's rated #1 in sci-fi, military sci-fi right now in the world. And we just hit number 47 on Audible. Big thanks to him.
Very nice.
So it's been a great trip. It's been a real cool ride.
Yeah.
and a lot of people watching tonight are special to me because they're some of them are my alpha readers. And these are people who have been with me they've been with me for a long time. And they actually have the privilege of, I don't know if it's privilege or torture, but they get to read every chapter that I write the day I write it. And so they're the very, very first people to see it and give it a, Caesar thumbs up or thumbs down, make comments, heckle me on it, whatever it is. And that's even before it goes to editing and to Jeff or the beta readers. So they have a huge, huge impact and influence in how the books are shaped.
That's cool.
And yeah, that's really cool. Hey, by the way, Matt says he's the only one immune to everything in that photo. Yeah, that's right.
Yes, that's right. That's why he can take his mask off.
Thank you, Dan.
That's right. You're like, I don't know. You seen that movie with Will Smith? I just did a review on it last Tuesday. Where that zombie movie, I Am Legend.
Oh, I Am Legend. Sure.
Yeah. You see that? So he was the only one immune to everybody's disease. So that's like you. You know, you're the only one immune here.
It's me. I feel good now. I feel
That's
good.
right.
Hey,
that's right.
I'm curious to know what people who are watching tonight, what their favorite. You got to leave a comment. What your favorite post-apocalyptic movie or franchise or series?
That's
like,
right.
What is it?
That's right.
That's what I want to know.
That's good. That's good to throw up there.
Oh,
so everybody answer that question.
Because I have one, but I'm going to save it for a little later.
Okay.
I'm gonna get some feedback first. So.
Alrighty, that's fine. We also got my Uncle Mike here. He's on watching us. Hello, Uncle Mike. How you doing?
Hey, Uncle Mike. I don't know Uncle Mike, but
you probably met him once at my brother's church.
Cool.
Yeah, he's been there a few times. So
cool.
So Gary says ruins, duh.
Yeah, I mean, what more is there? Come on.
Right.
He's just brown nosing. That's all right. I love him. So
that's right. Okay, now that you did a book, how about a movie? Throw up a movie, or a TV show or something.
Yeah. Listen. I'm open to anything that people want to do with our work.
That's right.
I'm quite happy. So
That's right.
I will say one really fun thing: the difference between reading the book and hearing hearing RC Bray read it, is the the creative liberty that he takes, which he has the right to, and we want him to put emotion and sarcasm and heart into a lot of these characters. It's just like I enjoy listening to our books as if I didn't write them. That it's like a whole new experience and a whole other way to experience the book. So actually, when people ask like, what are your favorite ways to consume material, I like both. I like to read it and I like to listen to it. So I'm an all in guy with it.
Nice.
Bear says it's a great listen. Yeah, very cool. Thanks, Bear.
And then we got I can't pronounce his name. You said it.
Mauricio.
Yeah. Ruins of the Galaxy has the coolest character.
I think I know why he's saying this, because he's been with me since the very beginning of my science fiction career, and I named a character. I know what he's gonna say. I named a character after him.
Oh, did you?
So yeah. He's this like really cool fighter pilot. I can't give spoilies, but he's just really cool. That's why Mauricio is saying that.
Oh, okay. That's awesome, actually. That's quite the best.
Matrix, Mad Max, Fury Road, or Terminator. Oh, those are good.
Yeah.
Those are really good.
How about the original Mad Max? That's a little bit better than Fury Road, I think. Honestly, that's my opinion, but I grew up watching those ones,
Absolutely with oh my gosh,
Mel Gibson,
yes. That's classic. I'll never forget the scene where he just keeps pulling everything out, on the table, and that
was Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
That was my favorite one.
Yeah, that actually was my favorite one as well.
We got somebody saying that too.
Oh,
Mel. Yeah, look at it. They said Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. It's quite awesome. Yep.
Zombieland is fun, and into anime stuff, gotta say Akira, yeah. I'm not into anime, so sorry.
I'm not either. It's not my bag, but I know a lot of people that really are. So yeah, look at Gary's like Mel Gibson. What? No.
Second coolest.
Okay.
Gibson, yep.
Okay, so this is really cool. I like Nathan's comment here. There's something about the original Mad Max, but strong female BA lead. I agree, and I think that is really, really cool. And Nathan, I know that you're a dad of daughters, and I don't know, something changed in me. Like when I see a BA female lead, I'm like, I want my daughter to see this. You know, I'm like, sit her right in front of the TV and like, this is you. I believe in you. You're a champion.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. That's true.
So,
oh, look at this. Gary says The Book of Eli. Yes, one of the best movies ever. We actually did a live video on The Book of Eli a month back. So if you want to go check that video out, go for it.
Oh, that's cool. Well, he stole my thunder. That's my favorite post-apocalyptic. So, Gary, get out of my head, man. Get out of my head.
Definitely. Actually, because of The Book of Eli is why I came up with this idea. Well, let's have a whole month of the apocalyptic type movies.
Okay.
Yeah. So, there you go.
So I need to say this about Book of Eli. So as a writer, I think you tend to break down movies and media really quickly. It's like because you understand that, and I think a lot of critically minded people do this anyway, but I think writers do it because it's our profession. So like within the first 3 minutes, like our kids now yell at me like, Dad, don't say anything. And it's kind of, it's kind of a badge of honor that I can really tick my kids off because I'm smarter than them, which my teenagers really hate that right now. But just kidding. So but you're jumping ahead like, I've got this movie figured out. For whatever reason, I did not see that end coming until it happened.
Yep.
And I've talked to friends who are like, you're so stupid, Hopper. I saw it like within. I'm like, whatever. I didn't see it coming. My experience was I'm sitting there. I'm like, this. I remember standing up, like putting my hands out, like, this is incredible. So anyway, I didn't see it coming. I thought it was a genius move. Really good writing. So
yeah. Oh, definitely. When I first saw the movie, I didn't even know he was blind until like almost to the end.
Right.
I was like, wait a minute, how'd that happen?
Yeah. Oh, so good.
It was.
All right, we got some Blade Runner fans coming in here.
All right, Blade Runner's good.
Yeah. Okay, original or he amended 1949 or 2049. I'm like, Gary, the original Blade Runner. Yeah. So I'm torn. I'm really, really torn. I don't know what you think, Dan, but I love.
Honestly, I didn't watch the new one.
Okay.
So I have no opinion for the new one yet.
Okay.
So I did like the original. It just, it was just kind of slow to me. It was kind of slow going,
Yeah.
But other than that, it was pretty decent.
Yeah. Well, I think a product of that is, I think there's two things involved. One is just we accelerate always as a culture, I think, and we want to consume things more quickly and things to get to the point more quickly. And we lose our stomach sometimes for long storytelling form. So I think that's one aspect. But I think the thing that both movies did really well is they did capture a richness to the environment and had the scope and the sense of immersion and the appreciation that this place really exists is a place you could go to if you had enough ability to get there and experience what these characters are experiencing. There's a moodiness too that I think is just cool and art filmy while still being mainstream.
Exactly. The cinematography was pretty decent.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I loved it. He said the new one was very disappointing, Gary said.
Yeah. Gary, you're just going to have to live with the fact that we like the new one and the old one.
Yeah. Oh man, we go down a long buddy trail on that. we could. That's for sure. Bring some stuff up.
I like the new one a little more interesting. This is good. I like having I like how you can highlight people's comments too. Dan.
Yeah. I see where that one was right there. Nathan said that.
Yeah, look at that. Good stuff. This is fun.
This is. We love fun. We love it.
No, that's great. Okay, I have a question for you, Dan.
Yes.
Does Deus Ex Machina count? Yeah, I think it counts. I mean, it's not. I don't know. I feel like it's yeah. It does have some. There's an edge to it, and I guess I tend to think of. Oh, here comes David. We'll pause.
Oh, yep. Here he is.
There he is.
There.
What's
Look
up,
at that
guys?
smiley face.
What's up, brother?
Sorry, I'm super late, but I had important things to take care of.
That's okay.
We're just glad you showed up.
Yes. Well, thank you. I'm glad to show up.
It's like it's not hard to please a guy on his first date with his future wife because he's just happy that she showed up. That's it.
right.
Bottom
That's
line. So
It's good.
hey, I like the picture in the background.
Thank you.
Just so you know, I'm the only person immune to everything because I don't have my mask on. Somebody pointed out.
That's right.
So
That's right.
Yeah. Hey, okay, so Nathan Reimer says it's more sci-fi than post-apocalyptic, talking about Deus Ex Machina. I believe that is a fair statement. I think that's a good statement to make. So it is more sci-fi than post-op. Okay, David,
Right,
what makes a great post-op film or series or book? Like, what is the quality that you look for?
Ooh, that's tough, man. The quality that I look for in a post-op movie, film, book would be lots of destruction.
Ooh,
Got to be a lot of destruction,
good.
and
Okay.
and few survivors. It depends on what theory or theology you're going to go with, because you have, if you're going to go in the Christian world, you have pre-trib, mid-trib,
Oh no!
and post-trib.
Oh no!
So which trib are you going to go for in a movie? So
I'm pan-trib. It just means I'll go pan to the end. So there it is.
so that's how I feel too.
Yeah.
But in a movie form, it would have to be post-trib, because there's too much climactic stuff that goes on in a post-trib movie. And then finally, at the end...
Gary said pan-trib too. That's my man right there.
Nice.
Sorry,
then,
keep going.
No, that's all right. And then at the end of a post-trib, you get the climax of Jesus returning, and every saint ever that lived and was dead, that lived and is living, will all gather in one spot, and a final warfare would take place.
There it is.
So,
but do we get cool guns? That's what I want to know.
Maybe. I don't know. Depends on your interpretation, I guess.
There. Look at what Dan has. There it is.
Oh my gosh.
There it is. Well, okay, I up you one because I have my original Atari right here. So.
Aw.
And I have
Love it.
wait. I have my son's little keyboard. How about that? Does that work for anything?
It works. Yeah.
You should turn that into something.
A smashing weapon.
There you go. There you go.
Okay, wait. So Matt brings up a great question. Cloverfield. Now, okay, Matt, I never saw Cloverfield, but I love this idea of movies that mess with your brain. Like that you walk out of a theater and go, what did I just see? And I'm getting off post-apocalyptic. Well, no, not terribly. Interstellar did that for me.
Nice.
I remember seeing it with one of my good buddies, and we drove out of the movie theater, and I took 3 wrong turns in my own city. Like turns that I take every day. I took the wrong turns because my head was so messed up trying to figure out, like, what did we just see? And I love when a movie can do that to you, no matter the genre. But talking sci-fi and post-op tonight, that just to me is like, that's great storytelling when you suspend disbelief enough to be immersed that it starts to affect your reality, at least for a few minutes.
Yeah, that's
So,
good. That's cool.
Yeah.
That is good.
Yeah, he says, "Oh, that was another one." I agree. Yeah.
Yep.
So now I got to watch Cloverfield.
Nice.
And for the gun thing, he said, he goes, "Do we have guns, or did the government take them away?"
But
Love it.
this is M. Night Shyamalan. Yep. Tenet. Tenet was a great movie. That was a recent favorite of mine.
Nice.
I actually saw it with you, Nathan. He's messing with me. We drove to a city between us and saw that. So he's one of my old buddies, my oldest friends. Actually, one of my oldest friends in the world.
Oh,
so
nice.
That's cool. We
good.
don't get to see each other enough, but
well,
so
Tenet,
cool.
Man. Tenet. I never saw that movie yet.
Oh, bro. Yeah, you got to see it.
Yeah.
Put that on your next to watch list for sure.
Okay.
I'll write that down.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, what else are we talking about, gents?
All right.
I don't know where we're at because I'm late.
We just been kind of just shooting the crap here right now. We haven't really said much. All right, so in our last interview, you talked about writing process and stuff like that, and how it works, and the new indie wave writing movement. So explain a little bit how that works here again. So I want to reiterate that just because it is a new audience, and more different people watch different things different times, and I just love your explanation last time. So
cool. What did I say?
I don't remember. I just watched it too, and that's where I wrote the question. I was like, yeah, I would ask that question again.
That's awesome.
So what's your writing process? What is this indie writing process?
Okay, and I'm gonna segue into something maybe in this question because Gary asked something cool, which is tell us about world building.
Oh, okay, well, you could do that first.
Yeah, well, I think it's a part of the equation. So there are traditionally two approaches in modern writing. One is what we call traditional publishing, or trad pub, or legacy publishing. It simply means that's what you've always thought of when you're growing up, at least in our generation, where you're thinking, okay, I'm going to write this manuscript and I'm going to try to get an agent. I'm going to try to get my foot in the door with one of the big 6 publishers. And most of the sob stories you hear are people trying to do that. They get 200 rejection letters and then they decide to throw their hands up and go drive for UPS. I don't know, but it didn't work out. Right. And those books, what's really interesting about them is while they make New York Times and USA Today bestseller lists, most of those authors don't have a career, and most of those authors did not make very much on that book because their sales are subsidized by a very large corporation. And it's usually only the top 1 to 1.5% of writers who are making a substantial living in the traditional legacy model. Now, that's a bit of a generalization, but it's mostly true. And there's a lot of little dirty secrets about the publishing industry that you don't find out until you sign that dotted line and you realize how much you are asked to do and how much you do not get in return. Wow. But there's something more than that, which is you also lose a ton of creative control. And a lot of people think that a traditional model is, I'm just going to write the book of my dreams. And everybody's going to love it and the publisher's going to publish it. Well, that's actually, they don't want you to write the book. They want you to write a proposal, and then they amend that proposal, and then you end up writing the book that they want you to write. Now, there's some merit to that because there are still smart people in the traditional legacy publishing model, and I've been fortunate to work with many of them. However, what ends up happening is you'll have a book do well, maybe, and you're putting out one every year, and that usually is not sustainable. So it's a part-time gig, which it was a part-time gig for me for over 10 years. It wasn't until I really got immersed in the idea of independent publishing, indie publishing, or even hybrid publishing, which is kind of a little bit of a mix of the two, where authors now, and it's really because of Amazon. We could say it's because of Kindle and Kobo. Excuse me, not Kindle. Kobo with Barnes and Noble and There's a lot of other sub platforms, but Amazon owns the market. KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing, owns the market. And it's because of them that people, authors who say, I want to write a book, they could put out a book tomorrow if they wanted to. There are no more gatekeepers. And that's what's really leveled the playing field, is to say it's no longer a legacy publisher that has the ability to level the playing field. Now anybody who wants to play can play. And that's threatened a lot of people. A lot of people in former places of positions of power and authority and money. And you get to kind of create your own rules. And really, the golden rule is, do my readers want to read what I'm writing? That's at the end of the day, that's the thing you have to be most concerned about. There's a lot behind that. There's a lot of people think they have a great story when all they really have is a passion project. What they need to do is just go get the passion project out of their system. And when they come back from that, now they can engage in the work of being a serious writer. There's a really big bridge between those two positions. And unfortunately, a lot of would-be really good indie writers never actually get themselves off the ground because they're too upset that nobody wanted to read their passion project. Well, their passion project may have sucked. And what they need to do is get it out of their system, listen to really good editors, and learn how to write with good storycraft. And that takes a long time. I think we're celebrating, this will be my 22nd book, if I'm not mistaken, which is crazy. If you would tell me I would write 22 novels, I'd be like, what? But I am just now feeling like I'm getting the hang of this. Right. And I still feel like I have a long way to go. And somewhere over, I'm going to say it's over 2 million published words now. That's a lot of words. That's a lot of typing. That's a lot of stretching and keeping carpal tunnel syndrome away. And so even after all that, I still feel like I just have so much to go and so much to learn and so many people to learn from. And I read a book on storycraft once a week. I'm still learning. And I'm still, just tonight, I was working with my editor, asking questions. Hey, why did you make this move? Why did you suggest this? I want, the day I stop learning is the day I don't deserve an audience anymore. They might think otherwise, but professionally, I've let them down.
Nice. Gotcha. That's cool.
Huh.
So, you go old school with that typewriter. Man, if I was a better grammarian, yes, but I'd have too much backspace and whiteout. I wish. So Gary's question about world building. Yeah, world building is really, I think, is the bread and butter, at least of my genre, which is science fiction and post-apocalyptic. Yeah. I think setting up the macrocosm and then getting down to the micro. The macro stuff has to be there, even if you never talk about it, because it brings that sense of immersion and it brings that sense of realism. And then it's one of those things where we commonly say, once you set the rules, you can't break the rules. Right. If this magical element is in play in fantasy, you can't ever break that, or else you break trust with the reader. If in sci-fi weapons work a certain way, don't break that rule. If time travel works a certain way, don't break that rule. If aliens or zombies die in the light, make sure you're consistent, because the moment you do that, you yank the reader or listener or viewer around, and you lose credibility. Yeah. So, but I think world building that's something I love. New species, new characters, technologies and gadgets, and my alpha readers and most people who follow the Ruins of the Earth and Ruins of the Galaxy series know that there is a vast amount of information. We're working on a wiki right now for a brand new series, which I'm really excited for this fall, which I can't talk about right now by name, but it's coming. Cool. And that's actually going to have its own wiki just dedicated to it and all the stuff that's going into it. So I'm excited for that.
That's awesome, man. Wow.
That's cool. So also language is also built up with all that stuff too, right? The languages of other, like in our last interview, the language of the other galaxy people or whatever. And how do you come up with those languages?
I think some of it you pull out of your butt. And some of it, maybe there's a touch of it that's genius. I don't know, or madness. I don't know.
Right.
I'm certainly influenced by my world travels, and I've traveled extensively in my life, and I feel very, very privileged to be able to have done that. I speak French. I dabble with Spanish and Italian, and I just love languages in general. I love other cultures, and I think that's one of the things that you acquire when you leave the country. Is particularly when you're a U.S. citizen and you leave the United States, you really, if you have your eyes open, your ears open, and you're breathing oxygen, and you have a heart. So I guess a couple of things need to be in place, but you start to get a sense and appreciation for the rest of the world. And this started for me at very young. In fact, Nathan Reimer on our list there, I met Nathan when I was 7 years old because my dad took me to Portugal. As he was producing and recording the very first Christian worship record in Portugal, in Portuguese. And so I was 7, being exposed to a very, very different place. And I think that has deeply impacted how I approach world building. And maybe this phrase, to see it through the eyes of the other. How does the other see the world? And if I can put myself in their position and posture myself like them, then whatever I express is going to be that much more authentic and valuable and detailed. And so I think, those kinds of tools are important for us as writers to not just be good communications of plot point and event. Obviously, certainly events are imperative, but if they don't have a context, then it's just person A did person B thing to some person C, and they moved over to the left side of the stage. I don't care. But if you start to expand on that and give me detail, now suddenly I'm invested because I'm sensing and feeling and smelling and all the things that it means to be a human. I'm incorporated into that story now in a different way. That's so it becomes visceral. Yeah, I think is what I'm trying to say.
Good. All right, so we got
very cool. Yeah, you got some questions on here.
Questions here. Mom says hello. She's late. Sorry.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. Nathan was asking how you contain the world. It seems like you can spiral out of control.
Yeah, that's a great question. I personally use 2 different programs. One is a new edition that we're building this new wiki in called World Anvil. And I'm really excited to partner with them and what we're creating for this next series. But right now I use something called Evernote. And there's lots of different file keeping applications out there. But for me, Evernote is a really powerful tool. And I have upwards of, I think now 10,000 entries. Wow. 10,000 article entries in that application for world building. Oh, wow. And it's just, I've become, like, I was not this way as a kid, but as a writer, I'm super OCD. And so I'll have a folder for world building and then subfolders for weapon platforms, for language development, for just the nouns I use. There are several hundred nouns used in the Ruins of the Galaxy universe. And we have to keep track of them. And it's painstaking to do sometimes. If you're writing, you're in the flow, you're just making stuff up. And you're like, oh, crap, all this has to connect to each other. And I can't contradict myself because really smart readers and listeners will call your bluff on the Amazon reviews. And that sucks. So you just become more detailed in how you become a scribe. You're an archivist as much as you're a creator. And so those are 2 very different roles, but you have to be in both if you're going to do it effectively.
That's pretty cool, though.
That is cool. That's good. So he says, Portugal is a very interesting place. Lots of history.
Saying the Brazilian says about Portugal. That's interesting. Yeah. It's like us saying England is a very interesting place with lots of history.
That is true. That is true.
Well, we kind of are a newer world, right? America's a newer world, so yeah.
No, it's funny today. So my big passion outside of writing is I love F1, Formula One racing. And today was a big race in Imola, Italy. And just my wife and I are watching the race today, and we love Italy. We can't go there right now because of restrictions, but I'm seeing the streets, and I can smell the countryside and the air, and I can hear people talking. And we were just making the comment, there's something really beautiful about walking down a street that's 2,000 years old or more. And whereas here, I mean, they paved our road like 30 years ago, you know? I mean, it's like, and so it's just not the same thing. So again, I think that gets back into traveling the world and being exposed to other cultures, and the privilege that is. You just get this sense that things have been here a lot longer than we have, and that's good, and that's healthy, and that's a part of our legacy. So
that's true.
That is very true.
Yeah. Let's see what Nathan just wrote. I suppose that's because of greater challenge with sci-fi than other genres. So I guess that's about the world building.
Yeah, I think that's probably true. I'm trying to think of other genres. I mean, fantasy certainly is a subgenre of science fiction technically, even though I think it needs to be its own. And somebody asked me this recently, and I think this is a great question. It's a really interesting split on world building. All right. That's a little made up word as well. That's our expletive in the Ruins universe. I think that, people ask, what's the difference between fantasy and science fiction? I think that with fantasy, if you're using things that you can't explain as mechanisms for change, that tends to be like magic, then you're in fantasy. Yeah. If you can explain it, then it's science. And I think that's a pretty good rule of thumb. There's probably exceptions to that, but I think that's a good way to look at it. And the more detail you want to be with the things you can't explain, could fantasy be expansive and extensive? Sure. Yeah, absolutely. But I do think that the moment we say it has to be scientifically based, or we're going to write in hard science fiction, now you're opening up a whole can of worms, because now you have to know what you're talking about, or people will call you out on it. And looking at series where you see, I was just reading a review of The Expanse, and I love The Expanse. But this commentator was making this interesting, she had 10 things that The Expanse needed to do better if it wanted to achieve a higher level of authenticity. It was a fantastic article. And she was writing it from the standpoint of, I love The Expanse. It's like, I'm not hating on them. I just want to point out some things. And I thought that was really ingenious. So, okay, one of them, I'll just give you a quick one. Says the engineer. Yeah, this is good. Great sentence. Great science dialogue. Yeah. So they had this thing where in The Expanse, which I don't know who of your viewers have seen it, but they have a version of a cell phone, except their cell phones, here's mine and my beautiful, lovely wife. There she is. Their cell phones are translucent. It's just a, clear piece of plexiglass, essentially, and they'll superimpose down. Well, she made this comment, which was, you can see both sides. In what culture is it acceptable and not a massive security breach to have a cell phone where you're having these government conversations to it? You can see it from any angle. Of course, it's done for the beauty and the cinematography and the cool factor. But that's insane. We would never do. We're trying to get it in our head, for crying out loud. Not to show it to like, here's my text message, everybody. There it is. So I thought that was a good. That's a good approach to say, hey, let's think through our inventions, not just throw them out there.
So I just want to just jump in and chime in here, but everything that you've been saying, Chris, about world building and all this stuff and fantasy and sci-fi, it actually makes me think about C.S. Lewis and Tolkien. I'll just go with Tolkien.
J.R. Tolkien.
J.R. Tolkien, yeah. And the stuff that these guys had to build to create their fantasy worlds for us to be engaged into you know, like especially the languages and all the things that take place in their worlds. And yeah, I just think writers are now amazing. Authors
Well,
are,
and those
They
dude,
are.
those guys were next level, because I think what people don't appreciate about them is, well, there's several things. And I think it's like anything. If you don't know it, you don't know. But you have, first of all, you have J.R.R. Tolkien and C.S. Lewis both being inspired by the late George MacDonald, who was like the grandfather of fantasy and sci-fi. Like, he was doing things that no one had ever done before. And you read things like The Princess and the Goblin and some of these epic works that he wrote, who inspired these guys. And these guys are Oxford scholars, like brilliant men. And so when a brilliant human who can speak and talk and write on transcendent levels steps down, not in a condescending way, but in a humble way, and writes something called The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. What power! What clarity! And that so fascinates me that you have this massive mind that would come down and write a child's book that is still being published and still earning out and still having an impact to this day.
yeah.
That's really cool. And with pen and paper, no computers. Well said.
Right.
Well said. I mean, Robert Ludlum would write every book on a the yellow legal pad. He'd write every book on a yellow legal pad by hand, hand it to his secretary, and she would type it out. And then Tolkien was a master linguist. So he's not just inventing. Like, I invent stuff because it sounds cool. I'm piecing things together, and there's some Latin in there, and there's some French in there, and there's some Old English in there. But he's doing it because he actually was fluent in antiquity. And I think
Right.
that's just like, oh my gosh. And then people are like, why does Lord of the Rings still sell, and why is it so amazing? And then they try to repeat the success, and they suck. Go to Oxford, man. I don't know. So
it's kind of like the Star Wars movies. You got the George Lucas Star Wars, and then you got Disney Star Wars.
Yeah. Okay, and I think we talked about this last time. You guys know I'm a big Dune fan, and Frank Herbert.
Yeah.
But what's even funny there is you read Frank Herbert that predates Star Wars. There's so much, like, Lucas loved Dune. He had to.
Yeah.
There's so much Dune influence, right? and I think it's one of those things where we just all stand on the shoulders of the people that have come before us.
Yeah.
That's the bottom. That's legacy. That's tradition. And those things are important. So
Definitely.
yeah.
That's good.
Dune, baby. There it is.
Dune, baby.
Aren't they?
Yeah.
Didn't they like remake that movie recently?
They were supposed to release it last year, and they pushed it off. I think it's coming out October of this year. So
Nice.
I remember seeing the one from, I think, the 80s. That
Yeah.
Dune.
Yeah,
That was a while ago.
that's a cult classic, man. That's a cult classic.
Definitely.
Oh, Christy's here! Yay!
Say hello to Christy.
Yay! Hi, Christy.
What's up, Christy? Woohoo!
Have no idea. DWJ. Don't know what that means. So.
Must be.
DWJ. She stumped me. She normally does, though. She's way smarter than me.
I love DWJ. Dune, maybe that's his initials. I don't know.
With Sting, yes, Gary. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. With Sting. That's right. Sting was in that movie.
I love it. And Queen did the soundtrack. I mean,
Wow.
How do you not love? Yeah, that's such a classic movie. It's so weird, but it's so great.
I think I have to rewatch it. Oh, okay.
So
Diana Wayne Jones. That's
there
right.
we go. There we go.
That's who DWJ is.
Thank you. Thank you for clarifying.
What's not to love either, Christy, right? Look at my comment. Man, Matt, you're so grumpy. What's going on here? Oh, got it.
Where's this comment? I missed it.
Here he goes. It was pretty much the Jake. Oh, so we missed the thread. We suck.
Sorry. Yeah, we suck.
Yeah. Gosh.
This one, was it this one?
That's the one.
That was the comment. Making me type. There it is. Yeah. So I don't know if I don't remember what your question was, David, but we got a lot.
Wasn't much of a question. It was more like I'm just like blown away by authors and writers who come up with this kind of stuff and make it all happen, you know?
Yeah.
And even like, so, and then you get people in movies or whatever, they script write out the book to fit a theatrical version of a book. So they have to go in and piece it together. And so even script writers, you know, they do good, depending.
Yeah,
it depends.
I mean, it's so hard. Like, I think that's, you know, I just saw a tweet recently where somebody said, "Okay, name me films that were actually better than the books." Right, and actually there was a good list. I really thought, pay more attention.
Instead of our conversation,
we're on the video.
That's right.
If you're turning on the video, you can pay more attention. And anyway, there were some really good ones actually on that list. Of course, I can't remember all of them. Oh, Princess Bride was one of them. And I thought that was a great example. It's way better than the book. Like, the book's okay, but the movie, oh my gosh, it's a cult classic. Like,
yeah, exactly.
So there are exceptions to that, and I think that just takes superior storytelling skills, and you have to have a really good screenwriter and a really great director.
Yeah,
and you get those things. It's like anything. Everything has to work. I think for us with Ruins of the Earth, it was one of those things where Ruins of the Galaxy's done very well, but Ruins of the Earth has blown it out of the water, which we couldn't be happier about that. However, it was calculated. Because you're watching the market, you're watching what sells and what doesn't. You're connecting. You're trying to see what people connect with, and so we took, without too many spoilers for those who haven't read it, but we took the favorite components of all the books that we were enjoying, and that's key, and two, that were doing well. A lot of times, as a writer or a creator, you want to copy someone else or riff on somebody else's stuff, but even though you might like it, the rest of the world might not like it.
Right.
And that's okay. If that's a passion project and you want to write it, you write it. Right? There's no one's saying you can't do that. But if your goal is to produce something popular, something that is read or seen or listened to or consumed by a large group of people, which is a very worthy pursuit, I highly recommend it because I think it's what helps us keep pushing the envelope and pushing things forward. You have to consider what people are resonating with. Yeah. And for us, it was a combination of things, and it was just a good formula. For us, it was writing first person present, which is very difficult to do, but we can do it. Taking this Antarctican legend with some Stargate thrown in there, plus a talking AI rifle, which we hadn't really seen done. Yeah, it was, we've had AIs and bots and AIs and ships and AIs and armor and AIs in your head and all. But this was, what if a gun had a personality, and what if it was like John Cleese from Monty Python?
Yes.
And stick it in the hands of a newly retired veteran Marine who is written from the standpoint of real Marines informing his behaviors and activities. So it's ultra gritty, ultra in your face, like tactics, terminology, acronyms, everything. This is military science fiction with a rifle, AI rifle from another universe that talks like Monty Python's John Cleese. And it's blown up.
I love it.
Beautiful.
I love it.
That's beautiful.
Your mother was a hamster.
Yes. And your father smelt of elderberries.
There it is.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
So,
Cool.
Chris, how does an AI weapon work?
Yes, so that's a great question. And
push a button.
Somebody
like
on here was earlier.
Judge
I
Dredd?
think he's gone now. His name was Kevin Zoll, and Kevin has also been with me from the beginning of this science fiction career. But Kevin actually came up with the acronym for Sir Charles, which is who we affectionately call our talking rifle, and you'll meet him if you read the books. And I have to talk a little bit because it's been out for a couple months now, so get on that wagon, people. But
yeah.
An ASIC is a advanced something kernel, apexial. Darn it, I'd have to look it up. I forgot it because we always call him ASIC now, ASIK. But he has a specific chipset that has made him sentient, and he has the ability to have a personality profile that he chooses himself. And so he happens to see a Monty Python DVD in someone's house, and because he's connected to the web at the time, assimilates that personality and decides that's who he wants to be. So
that's awesome.
It's a lot of fun.
That is fun. We just lost my brother. I don't know what happened.
I know.
He was frozen in time, and then
no.
That's all right. He'll find his way back. He's good at that kind of stuff. That's cool. That's really awesome, man. You're a genius, bro. I'll put it out there like that. You're just a genius.
Thank you. Well, I'll tell you my secret, David. I have learned the valuable lesson of surrounding myself with people who are smarter than me.
Yes.
And that is ultimately, I think, a wonderful secret to life, whether that is your spouse or your friends or coworkers, is if you can find a way to do that and honor them, there's a good life to be had.
It's good, man. It's good. Good stuff. So anyways, did you guys already talk about your favorite apocalyptic movie?
We did. We touched on that kind of at the get-go. I can repeat what I said, but thanks, Matt. I appreciate that. I got Dan. I think that's correct. Yeah,
that's true.
I think the Flounders got Dan. So there's this great. I can't give it away, Mauricio. Flounders become a very big and important thing to Sir Chuck, our AI rifle in the story. I'll just leave it there. It's worth reading. So, but I did answer the question. What's your favorite post-apocalyptic franchise or IP?
My favorite post-apocalyptic. I don't know. There's a few. Like, I'm down with Mad Max. That's a favorite of mine.
Yep.
Terminator. But there's only certain Terminator movies that I like. The whole franchise as a whole, I'm not too keen on it. I don't know if you saw the movie Genesis.
Yes.
But that one was interesting, but it just kind of changes everything. The time travel messes with the whole storyline, and so.
Yeah. I like number 1 and number 2. I think that's where I kind of drifted after that. I think the first 2 were my favorite too.
Now, the one Terminator movie that I liked, and he's back.
Sorry, everybody. My internet shut off. I don't know what happened.
Woo! AI.
A couple people said, AI got you and Flounders got you, which is an inside joke with Ruins of the Earth.
That's probably what it was.
Yeah.
But Terminator Salvation, I like probably up there with 1 and 2, because in Salvation, you get a little bit more of the history of the son, right? And
that's right.
His whole life, his story actually is exposed in that movie.
Yep.
So I think that's why I like Salvation. Plus the whole
interesting.
The idea of a Terminator, right, that actually saves people. Even though Arnold Schwarzenegger's job was to kill and destroy, but then he in Judgment Day becomes the good guy and whatever.
Yeah.
But this one with Sam Worthington, his whole thing was, I'm here to make a difference, and I want to save people. So
cool.
Yeah. So anyways.
So you bring up a great point, David, which relates back to the previous conversation about traditional publishing and indie publishing. There is there have been many conversations about what is the difference between popular writing and literature.
Okay.
And this is an interesting discussion because in very, very broad terms, literature has to do with character and popular fiction or writing has to do with events. And neither are an accurate representation of all that fits under their umbrellas. But suffice to say that when we think of popular, we think of Rambo. Okay, Rambo 1, there was some actual something behind him. And this rogue guy gets mad and does these things. But then after that, he becomes a sheriff and he's just shooting people we don't even know why. And he don't go that way, you'll die. You didn't bring guns, well, you'll never pick a fight, whatever. They're like, there's no longer character. And people can argue that, come on, there's nothing. It's just a blow 'em up movie. Yeah. But then you have literature, which is so character focused that it's like the character ate a golden peanut butter and jelly sandwich that shimmered in the light. And we hang out there for like 30 pages and no one knows why, including the author, because they were stoned. Like there's just no. So I think when we find this medium, and this is what indie publishing allows us to do, is we can push those boundaries. We can say, okay, you know what? Writing compelling stories is not just going to be about event plot arcs and what's the next story beat. We actually want to talk about development of characters. We actually want to see Sam Worthington and open that up a little bit. But at the same time, I don't want to talk about a golden peanut butter jelly sandwich for 30 pages either. I love me some PB&J, but that's a little much,
Yeah.
So I think indie publishing allows that, where a traditional pub is going to want you to be what we call purple prose and esoteric and use big words that nobody understands just for the sake of winning a Hugo Award. And congratulations, we funded it for you anyway. And then you read crap that's put out by people who don't know what they're doing. It's just like, this has no depth at all. Like, I just saw you plow down 10 chapters of war battle action and I don't even care because nobody touched my heart.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Anyway, it's a good,
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's a good point. And kind of diverting a little bit, but so The Chosen season 2 is out. They got up to episode 3, and we've been watching it here at my house. And Dallas Jenkins and his writing team, phenomenal. Like, they really, every episode touches your heart. I don't care who you are, even if you don't believe in Jesus. If you watch these shows, you're going to end up crying at some point because that's how good their writing is on each character that they focus on. They focus on the 12 disciples. They focus on Jesus.
Yes.
And
can we get back to one of my other questions before Chris has to go?
Okay, sorry. I'm just saying.
I mean, I'm just saying, sorry to interrupt, but
he just cuts me right off. Just cut me right off.
I do agree with the character development, David. I really think they do some compelling writing, great acting. It's really well done. Yeah. So okay.
Sorry. Right, I love you, bro.
I love you too, man. I just want to, I'm looking at the time and I'm like, we got to hurry up. And I got a couple more questions here.
Well, maybe if AI didn't get you.
It's not my fault.
That's your fault, man.
So just quick question here, without spoiling anything or is there anything that you can say about this new book coming out that might intrigue everybody who will be reading it?
Sure. So this is book 4, and what can I say about it?
Well, the title's interesting, Decayed Legacy.
Yeah, so Decayed Legacy. So this is the characters, in broad terms, coming to grips with things that they ultimately can't do anything about. And I think there's a cool theme there that was important for me in the telling of the story, which and I love how which mirrors most, art or life.
Right.
You can't really separate them. I don't think we're supposed to. But there's so many situations in our lives that we can't do anything about them. They're there. And we live with consequences. And I mean, if some miracle happens in a realm of health or relationships or finances or job or whatever. Yeah, those are wonderful, but it's not common, I would say. It's more common is, how do we live well given what we have?
Right.
And I love that idea of just saying, man, I can't do anything about this. Okay, what can we do things about? And then identifying those. I love seeing characters put in situations where the odds are just stacked against them. And in our books, we try very hard to make certain moments amazing. Wow, that was so cool. And then other moments that are very real, and that death is real, and that there are big losses. There are moments where things just do not go your way. And so, I don't know, when we see characters going through that, there's not only some empathy, but there's some catharsis happening as well. And whether we verbalize it or talk about it at book club, or even, I don't know, sometimes it doesn't even get into the prefrontal cortex. It just kind of happens at the back of our mind. We're going, oh, like so and so, I too can do this, or think this, or embrace the hardship and push forward. And so I think a lot of what Decayed Legacy is about Ruins of the Earth Book 4 is, how do we manage things that seem out of our control and still do what's right for everyone involved. So
that's cool. That's cool.
Cool.
Love it.
I liked, as Gary said, okay, Nathan's comment. How many books are in the series? Plans for another series in the universe, or something new? And before that, can you click on Gary's question?
Yeah, of
so everybody
course.
can see it. What is your legacy? Will it stand the test of time? And I think that's a great question just to ponder. It's existential. It's very personal, I think, for every person. And that's a big theme in this book as well. Like, what are we leaving behind? Who can we help, when, and how much? I think those are beautiful questions to work through. So anyway, on a fun note, how many books are in the series? Right now we're scheduled for 6, Nathan. So 2 more in Ruins of the Earth. And then depending upon what happens to them, we might write more in Ruins of the Earth, or we might start a new Ruins series. There's been some early discussion about that. I don't know what will happen, but we'll see. And then I'm working on some of my first solo books for the first time in almost 10 years. Nice. And that's going to be science fiction, coming out hopefully this fall, both in print and audio. And I'm really excited for this series. Again, I can't talk about it. It's very under wraps.
Keep it under the wraps.
but it's going to be exciting. And I'm pumped to get into it. Ruins of the Ruins.
That is epic.
Chris, when your new book comes out, do you think we can get the exclusive?
Yeah. What exclusive? What, you want pictures of me with my shirt off? Or
yeah. We want the exclusive. The exclusive.
We want everything. All of it.
We want to know everything about this new book, the new series that you're producing. So
cool. Well, I would be happy to do a debut with you guys. That would be a lot of fun.
Awesome.
So
that's right. Now, another question, has anyone talked about maybe making a graphic novel? This is a question I didn't get to last time. Question I definitely want to bring up.
Very cool. That has been floated around.
Yeah, because the art on the covers are so cool. It's something like, I want to see more of that.
Yeah, and our guy is very talented. We don't even we pay him very well so that we don't have to say his name, because if we did, he'd get snatched up, and we don't want that to happen. So he's agreed to remain anonymous for us.
Nice. Very good.
But so that's a little pro tip there. When you find good people, don't tell anybody. Nice. There has been discussion about graphic novels. Jeff Chaney, my partner, he's actually doing a graphic novel for his Renegade series, which I'm really excited for him on. And on another aspect, we have commissioned an artist who will remain nameless for the time being. She's very talented, and she is working on the art of a board game prototype for us. Ooh, and cool. And we're talking one of the, I don't know if you're into board games at all, but these are the Euro style, gorgeous, big, involved,
Oh, okay.
Super
nice.
super immersive game platform, and so we're working on that, and it's being prototyped right now.
Nice.
Yeah, which I'm
cool.
excited for. So graphic novel maybe, but definitely we're working on a board game. So
Nice.
Ooh, we got
Very
one more
cool.
question here. Can we throw that one up
Yep. Which
from
one?
the Millers? Yeah.
It's the Millers.
Which ruin? Oh, these guys. Oh gosh, these guys are such fantastic writers and creators themselves.
Nice.
Very, very gifted
Thank
gentlemen.
you for coming on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
thank
they're
you.
legend. So which ruins book was the hardest to write? Thanks, Chris. Which ruins? The first one. The first one, because it was my transition from 23 years of pastoring into being a science fiction writer. And that transition was happening in a very intense season of my life where it was just dark, and, redefining who you are in the world, and that sense of how am I connected and where are my key relationships. And that's a challenging and very difficult thing to do. I was seeing two different counselors, one mental health therapist and one spiritual director, just to make sure my head was screwed on straight. And in the midst of that, I had this dream of writing full time and daring to believe that I could do it, even
That's
when
awesome.
we were broke, and I was going, we were going through hell. And so to be writing this story about Magnus and Awen in this far off galaxy, it was therapeutic for me. It really helped me. Those characters will forever be endeared to me as people who helped me, fictional as though they are, through a dark place in my life. So
That's cool.
that book, that was the hardest to write, for sure.
Oh.
Nice.
But the most wonderful at the same time. So
very
Very
good.
cool.
Very good.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Did you want to see any more of these comments?
Shane M said board game. Woohoo. Shane is special because he is the mastermind behind the game, and I didn't realize he was watching right now. But
Nice.
this guy is a legend, and
welcome, Shane. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, I really hope that this game blows up. If nothing more for him, because he's just a genius. So I just write
you're gonna
about
have to let us know where
to.
and when you're gonna be selling this game. So
all right,
Yeah,
we will.
Yeah.
We will.
We'll get you back on. We'll promote it and everything. This will be great.
Wow, Chris.
Okay, what's that?
I was just gonna say, wow, we're gonna have you back on multiple times for all
there you
these
go.
things that you got coming up.
That's right. That's right.
Inside Christopher Hopper's brain, inside the booth. I like this question.
That's good.
Matthew Bigwig. I am not familiar with Claudio Sanchez. I'm going to look him up though, because okay, I'm going to drop a little spoiler here. Okay. We're going to see if it happens. I don't know, but I would like to release a soundtrack with my next series.
Ooh.
That I compose and record myself in our studio.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
So
that'll be sick.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Are you going to pick up the guitar again?
I think I'm going to probably be on more keys, actually. I've been programming a lot. And
there you go. Yeah.
I like the guitar, but my first love is actually drums and then piano.
Oh,
so
very nice.
Great things happen when you listen to the Lord. Amen, Gary.
Amen.
It's the Millers. Action figures are a must. I agree.
Yes. Good. I'll put them out behind me like I have some Star Wars guys. Definitely.
Cool. All right, guys.
All right.
Cool. Yeah.
Well, thank you for having me tonight. As always, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, It's been definitely a pleasure having you. And everybody who's watching, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We'll have Chris back on.
Yeah.
So, and then we also do some cool, fun stuff here too. You might like it.
Yes, absolutely.
Definitely. We'll plug in some Chris Hopper stuff. We got his website. You got the Ruins of the Galaxy website as well, right? .com. Yep. And what you got a YouTube channel? Do you use it much?
I haven't used it a whole lot.
Okay, well,
I probably need to more, but
it's in the
I just-
description anyway, so people
Cool.
can.
I just get on yours. I just hijack your site and talk about my stuff. So
That's
Hey,
good.
that's all right. That's
We'll
good.
take it.
We'll take
take
it.
it.
You can you can come on anytime.
thanks, guys.
No,
Hey,
thank you. Thank
everybody
you.
who's watched tonight, all these great comments. You're all awesome.
Yes.
Bear,
Thank
Mauricio,
you.
Christy, Nathan, Gary, Shane. You guys are Millers. Man, you're just very, very cool.
Yes.
Matt, thanks for spending some time with us tonight.
Yes. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody, for
Thank
coming.
you, guys.
We'll all see you later. Don't forget to subscribe. Like I said, go to our merch store, insidetheboothreviews.com. Yeah.
Yes.
There it is.
Mugs, Gators, like I started with. If you haven't seen it already, we
If
also
you're
got
into
t-shirts.
If you're into gators,
Awesome.
If you're into net gators, if you wear a mask, this would be a great thing for us because we're promoting. You're going to
That's
promote
right.
us. If you don't wear a
Nice.
mask, that's okay too.
Wear it around your giant bicep, I guess. I don't know.
That's right.
There you
That's
go.
right. Or use it as a hat, a winter hat.
There you go.
know, in
There
New
you go.
York it gets cold.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right,
so,
guys.
yeah. Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Have
you.
a good and wonderful night.
Peace.